Alive is the pursuit of adventures unknown and territories unseen, within an insatiable curiosity to explore hops, barley, water, and yeast. The unbound journey exists for those who wander. That actually comes to us from the brewery we actually visited this week. That's going to be coming to you from New Terrain. New Terrain out in Boulder, or out in Golden. Sorry. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to the Sesh Connection. I'm your host, Tracy Valentine. It's been a couple weeks, right? We took a little bit of a break. Nothing wrong with that, of course. First week that we took that break was simply because I needed a break. I think I took on a little too much on my plate, needed a day off completely, so took that, and then not realizing that the following week was Memorial Day weekend, which was still, fabulous in itself, of course. A lot of different things going on that weekend for sure. I hope you all had some lovely grill time and enjoyed yourselves. Um, So welcome to the brewery part of the show, of course, where we review brews and talk a little bit about the industry, of course, and some events and stuff coming up. So as I said, we visited New Terrain out in Golden, Colorado. This brewery actually is a brewery crafting exploratory beers just like us. Our beers are constantly evolving, they say. So we wonder, so we wander. I like that. I like that. That's actually really nice. So New Terrain Brewery began in response to a couple of beer industry professionals that were taking the plunge into new terrain. It was a culmination of determination and expected turns that eventually led to a crossroads where the opportunity actually came about and good beer would finally meet. Like all great adventures, theirs is rooted in the pursuit of passion and the relentless drive to follow it. Absolutely, why not, right? Some of their beers are brewed following like their typical tradition, German styles and whatnot, while others definitely were manifestations of their curiosity to try things differently. All of their beers reflect the relentless joy, of course, the craft brewing brings to them, precision, passion, as we said, behind each recipe, and just like their beers are constantly evolving, again, we're going to say, we wonder, so we wander. I just love that. I think that that's super cute. So anyway, I love the brewery. It was really nice, you guys. It's nice and big. Kind of reminded me of like, if you've ever been to Sanitas over in Boulder, kind of has that same kind of feel, like a big, nice outdoors. Feels like you can ride your bike up there, hike up there, whatever, ride your motorcycle up there to that brewery. It's just one of those kinds of breweries where you can walk, hike, bike, whatever it takes to get there. And once you do, the view is amazing. You definitely get to see the mesa up there. Really, really nice, beautiful view. Great seating. They have daily food trucks that are kind of permanent over there. The one food truck that they had, you guys, I can't remember the name of it, but it all had to do with like rock and roll sandwiches. Like they had the Rick Rubin sandwich. I thought that was super cute. But anyway, yeah, so definitely check it out. Really great array of beers, of course. While I was there, I tried a couple different beers, and one, of course, that I took home that we're going to try here. Absolutely. So let's see. As a matter of fact, one of those beers that we tried was, as you can see, it's coming up behind me. We've got the Rise and Climb. It was a German style Kolsch, a 5.4. As you can see behind me there, really, really nice golden color to that. The head on that dissipated super fast, but really nice white sudsiness to it. Now, it said it was a German style Kolsch, right? But what I actually got from it, and again, it could be one of those, as they said, one of their regular traditional beers or one of their manifestations, right, of curiosity. So maybe it's one of those, because I really got some Hefeweizen vibes from this. Absolutely tasted banana on the back end, and on the forward, I absolutely tasted cloves. So I really, I don't look for a hef. So to actually have that come up as the taste of this Kolsch for me was a little off, but it was nice. It was refreshing, very effervescent, lots of bubbles. Really though, enjoyed it through and through. So definitely a nice tasty little beer would be the Rise and Climb, their German style Kolsch. The other beer that I had was what else? Let's see. It was Pillow Drops. Pillow Drops. The Pillow Drops was a 5.6 American Pilsner. And I let this beer sit for a moment. Now, this is, of course, the one that I bought, and we'll go to that in a second. But as I was sitting there and having this beer, I let it sit and do that slow pills pour kind of sit with it, because it had already started that way. I figured, I looked at it and I said, okay, I'm going to let the head kind of, dissipate for a bit. It's only going to take a few moments. Oh, no. It did exactly what a beautiful Pilsner pour would do. It rose up, that foamy head came up to the top, and it just pillowed up there at the rim of the beer. To a point that I really got to say, what ended up happening for me was I really, really was having I needed a beer kind of day. So I wanted to drink that beer. So I just came up and just swashed that little bit of nice foamy head right off the top there and got right to it because it was definitely worth the wait. What I thought was very odd was I immediately got these hints of vanilla from it. Definitely citrus as well, but I got these hints of vanilla. So it still held that nice, like crisp, refreshing taste that a Pilsner would on like a hot, on a hot day. But I just got this beautiful blend of vanilla and the citrus in there. And to me, it was very much reminiscent of like a Pilsner cream ale, I would say, not like a Dole Whip from Disney World or anything, but I mean, we're close. It's close, So anyway, yeah, the Pillow Drops Pils is a 5.5%, 5.5% on that. We'll get that into the camera there. And as we said, New Terrain Brewery was the brewery that we went to visit. So let's get our nice, we switched up glasses today. We switched up glasses because we are not going to go traveling today. We're not going to go traveling, be it my fault, of course, but I really wanted to go to Ethiopia, but the only way to do that is to actually visit an Ethiopian restaurant out here that has an Ethiopian beer, and they open on Tuesdays. So myself and, as you know, a guest I've had on here several times, Brandy, we are going to go and have Ethiopian food and definitely try an Ethiopian beer. But in the meantime, let's get back to this New Terrain Pillow Drops Pilsner. Look at that. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Let that sit for a minute. And maybe while you guys are here, even though it came from the can, while you guys are watching, maybe you can see it kind of build up. And no, it's actually not. It's going to take on that simple can kind of Pilsner there rather than a tap Pils. And that's fine. Tapped Pils versus a can beer, even though this did come from the tap. The difference is that it's not going upward, it's coming down. So it's dissipating fast. It's still holding its own though on those bubbles. Still thick. It's actually, if you can see in there, it's getting a little airy. Still got some bubbles going, and that golden color. It's golden like the place it came from, Golden, Colorado, New Terrain Brewery. But yeah, really nice colors in there for sure. Head's dissipating nice and fast. Let's give that a smell, huh? Now on the nose, on the canned beer, I actually do get a lot of citrus right then and there. It's I get a little bit of like orange and maybe a slight grapefruit, just slightly, just that nice little extra zesty citrus there. Light bitters to it. Light bitter on the back end. Nothing terrible about it at all, though. Nice and refreshing, of course, crisp. definitely get more citrus on there than I did my vanilla notes, like when I had on the tap as opposed to the can. Could also be that I've already, put it in my mind that someone else said citrus, so therefore maybe I'm just putting more citrus thought into that, and that's fine. Beautiful Pilsner, though. Again, I mean, really, really nice in the colors, really, really great taste. I'm going to call it a porch pounder. This is definitely one that I would keep on the porch. This is one that's definitely going to be sitting outside with me in my new apartment. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's definitely going to be something I will be sitting with for sure. There's a couple things I actually wanted to talk about since we're not traveling today, and since I've already said we're going to Ethiopia. I wanted to talk about a couple different breweries that I've been to in the past couple of days and weeks and whatnot. Went to a brewery in not Milliken, but on the way kind of back from Milliken, called Knuckle Puck. I was actually doing a pop-up for 111 in Milliken. And on the way back, Brandy actually met me for a beer over at Knuckle Puck. We went, you guys, during that like crazy storm that ended up hitting like the Denver airport area, where there was a bunch of hail that looked like it was a snowstorm out there. We were actually just leaving the brewery when all of that craziness started up. So the drive home was a little insane, but really great small brewery. Seems like it's very much like the neighborhood brewery, the place to go to. But they had pizza there. I think it was like a thin crust pizza. They had other bites as well. But really great beers. I highly recommend them. Tried a couple of different ones. They had a peppermint milk stout that Brandy had actually ended up getting that I tried. That was really nice. Subtle notes on that mint. You can really taste that chocolatiness on that back end. Really enjoyed that one. Really enjoyed it. And then the other brewery that I just went to the other day, went for a 13-hour drive on Saturday. Went out to Durango because I actually had to do a pop-up up there for 2 hours. And on my way back, I took the 160 up to 25, as you know, and stopped off at a brewery in Walsenburg. And I know those of you in Colorado, when I say Walsenburg, you think, well, what is possibly out there? The place is so tiny and looks like one of those old, Stephen King towns. No offense, Walsenburg. You are actually a really cool little town. But I went to a place called the Crafty Canary. It is women-owned, woman brewery. Really great local drinking hole. Really just a cool spot to be. It looks like they had food there. It looks like you could also bring in your own food. But this was a place, like I said, that was definitely for the locals. Everybody kind of went in there and like knew your name sort of ordeal. I walked in there and every person turned their head to look at me. So therefore, it's a local neighborhood beer or brewery when everybody turns their head at the very new person that just walked in. So that was a lot of fun. Really great place. Nice and small, like I said. Cute little outdoor area. I had gone there once before. Last year, as a matter of fact. I want to say I was doing another 111 pop-up, actually, I want to say in Trinidad, and ended up stopping over there because, of course, I use my Hops passport wherever I go. Thanks, Dad. And I was able to try out their beer then, and they actually had this little, I think it was an anniversary, like of their being there, an anniversary party. But they had this great little get together outside, inside for the dogs as well. Oh, that's what it was. It was a pet pool party. They had like little pools outside for the dogs to play in, which I thought was really cool. Of course, me being a fur baby mom, I absolutely loved the idea of that. So yes, stopped over there. Again, like I said, guys, if you're ever down south off of 25 and you need a place to stop off to, check out Walsenburg, check out Crafty Canary. Definitely a really cool place. I ended up getting the Walter Pilsner there. And if you know of the Walter, It's actually a brewery as well. I want to say in between or either right there in Pueblo to Trinidad. So somewhere in that connecting area is the Walter Brewery. Really great crispy pilsner. You would really like it there. But they have, of course, they have other beers that you can try, other varieties, of course, to try. So yeah, definitely visit those places. You guys are gonna like them for sure. I hope that you visit New Terrain and try out some of their different beers. They have a really good dark amber as well that I tried, and a couple of sour guava beers. I think that I'm not a guava fan. It doesn't appeal to me. There's something maybe too bitter on the back end for me in anything guava related. And one day we're going to talk about guava related gummies when we're doing our second segment, which is our cannabis segment, because there are some companies out there that make some guava flavored gummies. And again, I just think it's just me. I am not a guava fan, So we'll talk about that, though, of course. Let's see. So a couple of brew fests, actually, that are going to be coming up, you guys. Let's see. On the 7th of this month, so June 7th, that's this upcoming week, Lodo Craft Beer Tour at Wynkoop actually begins at 3 o'clock. It's from 3 to 5:30, and it's a brewery beer tour with Wynkoop. Definitely check that out. Go over to Wynkoop. If you don't know where Wynkoop is, it's on Wynkoop and or Winecoop. Maybe it's Winecoop, Wynkoop. Who knows? Hickenlooper's place. We know. It's over by Union Station. Good beers, though. Good beers. I know I brought my father over there. I think we had beers and pretzels when we were there. Of course, I had pretzels when I'm at the brewery most of the time. So definitely, that's the Lodo Craft Beer Tour. On the 15th, we got a couple of beer fests going on the 15th. So the first one kicks off summertime with the Summer Brew Fest going on at Mile High. That's at Mile High Station from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. I believe you can get your tickets off of Eventbrite, so check them out. Also on the 15th, you're going to have the Belgian Brew Fest. That's going on from 1 to 4 p.m., and that is going to be at Brews Beers. That's not the one on Colfax, guys. It's going to be the other Brews Beers, or Brews Bros. Is that the one that's off of Washington-ish? I will get that to you guys, and I will post that on the gram for you to let you know exactly. If anything, if you want to find out for yourself and don't want me to go on the gram and post that, then check out Brews Beers or Bros Beers, BRUZ Beers. They have a lot of really great Belgian-style beers and good German-style beers as well. I think you guys will like it. What else we got going on? All right, you guys, some beer event. There's some beer holidays, right? Yeah, that's what we like to talk about. Beer holidays coming up. Okay, so on the 8th, which is obviously the day after the Lodo Craft Beer Tour Fest. So, I mean, go on your Craft Beer Fest tour, and then go on the 8th and name your poison day. Name your poison day. That could be liquor, that could be non-alcoholic, whatever the case may be. I say make it a beer poison day. Pick your poison, drink your beer, go to any brewery you want, and try something different. Maybe for me, I'm not going to go for an IPA, of course, but I'll try something different on the 8th. I'll pick my poison very well. All right. So also on the 15th, not only are we having some brew fests, right, but it is also Beer Day in Britain. Beer Day in Britain. I wonder how they celebrate it. I'm kind of curious. I don't want to travel to Britain to find out. I actually don't want to do any traveling right now. I feel like we're at war, aren't we, people? But all in all, I want to stay away from planes, trains, and all that other stuff. On the 17th, which does take place on a Monday, and I have already tried to see if Laura is going to join us specifically for this day. We'll talk Iovia and possibly Stewart's Root Beer Day. Those of you that know about Stewart's Root Beer or don't know about Stewart's Root Beer, get a root beer. Stewart's, it's the best. You guys, I don't know if this happened a lot out here, but on the East Coast, we had a lot of Stewart's Root Beer drive-ups. They kind of are like an old school Sonic, you would say, like the original Sonics. They came out in their little roller skates, put the little tray on your window that barely held up. And we always got our burgers and fries and our Stewart's root beer, either in a mug, I think, or in the glass, guys. But man, those were so tasty. They really were. The pizza burger was amazing. But it's funny when I think about Stewart's now. I love the root beer, but I don't necessarily know if I'd go and get a burger from them anymore. Things have changed. Things have changed. Maybe I might hit up the A&W at this point in time before I hit up a Stewart's. I haven't seen a Stewart's open in a very, very, very long time, but we do know that they still sell that beer, that root beer. So get your hands on a Stewart's root beer and celebrate on the 17th, Stewart's Root Beer Day. So before we segue into the next part of the show, of course, couple of things. I am actually doing a stint for cancer, you could say. I am trying to raise money with Denver Over the Edge to raise money for cancer research and cancer help out there, basically in the hospitals, raising money for it. Trying to get the word out. By doing so, what I need you guys to do is donate as little or as much as you would like to at DenverOverTheEdge/Tracy Valentine. You will find me on there, DenverOverTheEdge.com. Go over there, put my name in, donate if you can. I've got $5 in there. I'm trying, guys. But if I raise $1,500 by September 9th, I will rappel down the McGregor building, all in the name of cancer research. And any of those that want sponsoring, or at the very least want to give me a patch if you end up donating, or some sort of a sticker to wear, along with I think I'm wearing a jumpsuit on that day. I would be more than happy to represent you as I travel down the side of the McGregor building. So please go out there and donate. That would be really helpful. I would really, really, really appreciate that so much. I think that the other thing we're going to talk about too is, guys, I know this is more of a cannabis industry thing, but you also know that thank you again to Laura. We have a friend out there in the cannabis industry. Steve Coker has a GoFundMe page. He was in the hospital, wasn't doing too well for a little bit. And it's going to be Steve Coker. It's going to be gofund.me/B as in boy, F as in family, D as in dog, B as in baby, E as in Edward, 89A, A as in ass. But anyway, definitely please get out there and hit up his GoFundMe as well. We're trying to raise money for him with all the bills that we incur these days. It's just a bad society that we live in. The bills add up, especially on the medical end of it, and it would be really great if anybody out there can help out a friend of ours in this industry. We really appreciate that. Looks like somebody got back to us on that Brews Beers. It's going to be at the Midtown Brewery on 1675 West 67th Avenue, number 10. And that's in Denver. It looks like it's actually it's going to be at both. So the one off of Colfax in New York, you guys will definitely be doing this as well, and the one in Midtown. So both places are going to have that brew fest going on, the Belgian Brew Fest at Brews Beers. So check it out. Thank you so much for the added info. Appreciate you looking that up. And I guess we will slowly segue into the second segment of the show. Those of you that are leaving us, thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm Tracy Valentine with the Sesh Connection. I appreciate you guys tuning back in after a 2-week hiatus. Love you to pieces. And I guess we are definitely going to segue into the next show. Right before we go, let's make sure we give a shout out there to New Terrain Brewery. New Terrain. We will hopefully send people your way. So, thanks, Mom. Okay, you guys. So, second part of the show. Let's just say it again. I'm Tracy Valentine. I'm your host of the Sesh Connection. Welcome to the cannabis segment of the show today. Guys, it's been a heck of a time, heck of a week, heck of a month. Some things to talk about. We know that Tetra Lounge has opened again, doing industry nights, doing yoga on a Sunday. A lot of different events and stuff going on with them. I love that Tetra is back in business. This is exciting. We needed a place like Tetra to come back. I'm really happy that they are up and running. Went to that first industry night. That was spectacular. If you guys weren't there, get to the next one. I believe every Tuesday is industry night. Every Thursday is ladies night. So ladies in the industry, get your ass over to Tetra. It's ladies night. Enjoy yourselves. You don't need to go to a bar. You don't need to go to the brewery. You don't need to go to the club. You go to the lounge. You go to Tetra Lounge. Enjoy yourselves. Also, sad but true, the closing of the Marijuana Mansion, and the last party was this past Saturday. Unfortunately, as you know, as I said earlier in the first segment of the show, I did a pop-up out in Durango on Saturday. So my day started super early, about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it ended about 8:30 at night when I got home, walked in the door, and intended to get my shit together and head over to the mansion, and instead cuddled up next to the dog, closed my eyes, and saw the light of day the following day, of course. So, I could not make it. I hope that everybody that went had a wonderful, wonderful time. It is very sad to see the end of an era. The Marijuana Mansion was a place that it started a lot of things. It started a lot for a lot of people. It started everything for the Sesh Connection, you guys. If it wasn't for April, Emma, and Adrian Garcia kind of helping and guiding the Sesh Connection in the way that they did, we would have never started up with the knowledge that we had. So the Sesh Connection owes a lot to the Marijuana Mansion and the people that ran it. So, sad to hear the mansion is closing. Hopefully there is something in the works going on for the future. I hope so, because we all know April Emma deserves to be the madam of the mansion, as we have always said. And we hope to keep her in that position no matter where she goes, even though she is with a company called Rewind Labs. They are out there actually putting out nostalgic infused candies, which I love. So they came out with Pop Rocks right now. I am hoping for something different for sure. I want root beer barrel candies. I want those dots from when you ripped them off, you got a little bit of paper in your mouth as well. If they could infuse those, oh man, I'd buy a roll of that. As a matter of fact, you guys, I actually was at a dispensary on Sunday in it was called High Plains Strains, and they have that with, I believe, Nature's Herb is their sister company. They have Nerds Rope, infused Nerds Rope. They have infused cake balls, and they have these other things called infused Amaze balls, which are Rice Krispie balls that they dip in chocolate. So I am definitely going to be buying those. We are definitely going to try those out. We'll talk about that on the show, of course. Leftover from the previous segment. So, there's some other things I want to talk about too. So 2 hotels, motels, whatever you want to call them, 2 places, 420 friendly places that are out and available and around. If you guys didn't know about it, or if your friends didn't know about it, if your friends are coming to town and they need a place to stay out here in Denver, tell them to check out the Patterson Hotel. That is a full-on 420 friendly hotel with a lounge, with a smoking area. Great place to go to. A little pricey on the rooms. There's about 9 rooms, but it is a beautiful brownstone. Absolutely gorgeous inside. You're going to love it. And again, it's a place to smoke. So if you're looking for a hotel where you can do all of those things, feel comfortable, and not have to worry about the man breaking down the door on you while you're smoking, check out the Patterson Hotel if you're in Denver. If you are in Colorado Springs, check out the Inhale, Inhale Resort and Spa in Colorado Springs. That is another 420 friendly place for you to stay. Both, Denver and Colorado Springs have airports that you can fly into. So again, those are accessible places for anybody that's just coming into town via Southwest, Delta, whatever the case may be. Lastly, let's talk about Bongathon, you guys. Unfortunately, myself and Brandy did not make it over to the picnic that day. When we went to go and get food and drink to bring with us, we ended up sticking around where the drink was. And we never made it over there. So all in all, we missed out on that. But I did find out that they do have tickets for sale. They are, I believe, $150. You are definitely going to want to hit up Bongathon official site on Facebook or on Instagram and get tickets that way. They will give you all the information on there. It is not going to be taking place July 20th to the 22nd. It will be taking place in August instead. I believe the first weekend of August it will take place. So get those tickets bought soon. Let them know that you're coming around. It is all about camping while you're there, not glamping. I mean, by all means, if you can get an RV, fantastic. No dogs allowed, not even a service dog, you guys. There are very, very, very strict rules on this. You cannot bend them. You cannot break them. You need to adhere to them. That is very, very important. You will not get map point addresses until the morning of the day that they open up the gates. So you'll get a generalized area, but you will not know about the address until that time. They keep everything under wraps for safety purposes and to make sure that, again, you have a fun and enjoyable time and nothing that is ruined by anybody or anything. Okay, so definitely get your tickets for Bongathon, and that's going to take place in August. And I'm sure we'll have Billy and the gang back on before Bongathon takes place, of course. And let's see. We're going to save those to talk about in a little bit. You guys, so as you know, 111 is always putting out a little bit of swag, and I work for 111. And so I believe I showed you guys the original coaster that they had gotten done. Really, really cool. Take a peeky poo. Right, really nice. Well, check out this one. Only 17 made. They're super cool. And they're square. And I really, really like them. So, and of course, my beer is sitting on the white one right now. But tell you what, guys, we will definitely put a contest up on the gram based on whether or not you have watched tonight's show. And if you did watch tonight's show and you answer a couple of questions on the gram, you will win the prize of a 111 rare t-shirt. We do not have these anymore in stock. This is like officially one of the last ones. I have another one, but it's for somebody else. So I've got one of these left. You'll also get one of the last of our round stickers that we are getting different ones. So this is, again, another little nostalgic. You will get our new lanyards as well. We had those printed out the other day. You'll also get one of those square coasters. And, of course, you will get a disposable from me. Why do I always show these around when I'm working with 111? Why? Because 111 just recently introduced some flour to dispensaries, right? We were only doing pre-rolls and concentrates and vapes and stuff, right? Well, we recently introduced flour to places, and we want to make sure that you have something to smoke your flour out of. So now when I do my pop-ups, you have the opportunity to get some of that swag as well as win one of these if you can. And what is disposable? If you haven't been on the show or watched the show rather before, it is a disposable pipe. You guys, it is an ivory paperboard, food grade, safe quality pipe that comes flat like this, right? Has the bowl here, The bowl even has perforated holes at the bottom so that you don't have to put a screen in there. It has a carb at the end when you fold it in. So you even have a carb on there, you guys. And once it's all folded up and everything is all set up, it looks like that. I mean, and you can travel with this. You can go to festivals with this. And okay, I've got to say this because I how do I say this without being mean? People are stupid in America anymore. I mean, there's just no way of not sugarcoating that and not saying it mean. I just can't. But I'm trying to tell potential people of winning this at my pop-ups what this is and that they can travel with it. And majority of people that answered when I said you can travel with this said the same thing. Oh, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable putting weed in that and traveling with it. Hey, dumbass. Nobody ever told you to put weed in it. Did I say take this and put weed in it? No. You see how it's enclosed. Oh, well, I fucked that up. But anyway, it's enclosed. It's supposed to be. It's probably open because I opened it earlier. But it's enclosed mainly most of the time. Anyhow, no one's telling you to put weed into this and then travel with it. I am saying that you can place this goddamn thing in your pocket, in your carry-on, in your purse. You can walk with it through TSA. Ain't nobody gonna say anything to you. There's nothing going on with it. Nobody's packing weed in it and then trying to pass it through. No one ever said that. Please stop being so stupid and asking some of the dumbest questions or making some of the dumbest statements one has ever heard. No one is telling you to put weed in it. When I say travel with it, you can travel with it. I even had somebody say that they took this bowl head, right? Took a paper clip, undid the paper clip, looped it through the holes here, okay, where the screen is, looped the paper clip through there, and attached it to their keychains on their keys. Why? Because most of the time you end up grabbing your keys, putting it in a basket, and walking through the metal detector, and then they hand you that basket either around the metal detector or through it, but all they see are keys, right? So if you feel that strongly that these two items together are that you're feared about, try the paperclip method. Try the paperclip method. I think that works really well. I think it would work really well. But again, guys, these are great products to use. Definitely stay tuned on the gram. We will put up a contest for you to win 111 swag as well as a disposable pipe from Disposable. So let's get on to some talks, right? Oh, well, we're still talking 111. Let's continue. Let's continue to talk 111. I wanted to show you guys, as you know, we have the 111 live rosin hash stick, right? It's a joint that's wrapped in live rosin, dipped in keef. We know that we have our 2.5 gram diamond blunt, right? Diamond infused blunt. Alrighty, we know we have that. 111 has also got very inexpensive, and we're talking like $8 pre-rolls. 1 gram regular pre-rolls with our Living Soil flower. You guys, if you've tried our flower before, the MK Ultra, Thelonious Skunk, the Clementine Kush, if you've tried any of those, you will absolutely love our pre-rolls. So get out to any dispensary that has 111 products, ask them for a 111 pre-roll, whether it's the infused, whether it's the 2 gram blunt, or whether it's just that regular pre-roll. It's 111. You'll love it. So just wanted to get through my 111 stitch there. Okay. So you know that we typically like to review products on here, and I've gotten myself set up to review a product, and I want to go into it. I almost didn't review this product, and one of the reasons why was I'm a little perturbed. I got jaded. I got cheated on this product that I'm about to show you guys. I bought it at a really awesome dispensary that I was doing a pop-up at last week. called Outcrop. Now, they are over by Red Rocks. You guys, great place to stop at. If you're headed over to a concert at Red Rocks, grab your cannabis needs over there. You really, they have a great variety of stuff and some very interesting things over there. Not only did I get this stuff that we're going to be talking about in a moment, but they also have infused olive oil, which I plan on getting because I just think that's awesome. So I will definitely be getting that. Maybe we'll do some cooking shit for sure on the show. But anyway, so I bought this packet, and it's supposed to be 100 milligrams. It's an edible. We'll get through it in a second. It's an edible. It's supposed to be 100 milligrams. So that means that there's 10 milligram packets in there. I open up the container. Now, it was completely sealed. Completely, like, can't get into it. Can't even open it from the top. You know how sometimes we can open up our cannabis bags to, you know, get in there and get the flower. It wasn't even something like that. It was completely sealed. And I pour out 8. Now, did I expect Outcrop to replace it? No. Did they say they would? Yes. Did they forget by the end of my pop-up? Absolutely. Do I care? No. I don't mind because they're not obligated to give me those other 2. You know who should be obligated is the company that only gave me 8 out of 10, and that is going to be Outer Other rosin-infused honey sticks. So they are clearly on the packet, and if you've seen my Instagram post where I circled certain things, clearly on the packet it says 100 milligram total. Clearly on the packet it says 10 milligram each. Okay, right where my fingers are is where that stuff is at, and I'm sure you can't see that. Alrighty, so to get 8 means that not only was your packaging false, but that I paid for 10 and I only got 8. Now, the other reason why I didn't necessarily want to review this company was because there's nothing on the company. When I went to look them up, I found absolutely nothing. I found a website that doesn't go to anything at all. It just is a yellow screen, and it's nothing. You hit the X and it turns into a plus. You hit the plus, it turns back into an X. The screen doesn't have anything on it. So I couldn't even get you guys any information about the company Outer Other, which is a little bothersome because if you're selling at a dispensary, the expectation is that I should be able to look you guys up, because I definitely don't feel comfortable with the false advertising of getting 10 and actually only getting 8, and then finding that we can't even access your website. So have I ever done a review like this on the show before? No, I haven't, because I try to be nice about everything that I say on the show. But that is a little disturbing that that had happened. However, I like cannabis, so we're going to get into what we're doing with this. So they come in little packets like so, alrighty, and each packet has 10 milligrams of live rosin infused honey. Now, what do we know about live rosin? What you've heard in the past and what we've talked about on the show is that live rosin is solventless and it's a much cleaner hit. It's done with heat, pressure, and ice. So you get it's made from the frozen, freshest part of the plants, that they cut only those fresh, good pieces from the plant. You don't get trim. You don't get anything that's not frozen. You don't get anything that's premium. It's all solventless. It's all clean. It's all high end. So they've got that going for them. So you're on my okay list at that moment, right? So what did we do here? We ended up. Let me just show my little plate. We ended up with a little piece of toast. My little piece of toast, and it is from Rebel Bread Company out here on Broadway. Love this company. Now, you know, you guys love you some Izio, and I do too. But if you haven't tried Rebel Bread Company, y'all need to try Rebel Bread Company. Super delicious sourdough, really great 7C bread. Love their croissants. Very, very good brioche rolls. As a matter of fact, I just had some brioche hamburger rolls the other day. Had some burgers with them. So delicious. And they freeze well. Everything freezes well. But anyway, back to the cannabis, back to the honey. I'm never really good at cutting things or ripping things open very well. So I got these handy dandy scissors that my mother gave me that I actually feel are actually dangerous. I never actually really like handling these things. They kind of scare me because they retract very easily. I don't know. I can see myself cutting my finger off. I see that happening. So anyway, we're just going to cut a tip of this off, right? All right. And then I'm going to get my now, why am I putting it on toast? Okay. I was going to put it in tea, but I didn't feel like brewing hot tea. It's kind of warm out. Somebody else said it tasted really good on an English muffin. So I was like, well, I don't have an English muffin, but damn it, I've got some Rebel bread. So we're going to try it on that, right? And I'm not going to douse this thing because I'm only doing a bite. You guys know me better. So let's see how this comes out, right? We're going to do this with you guys. Oh. Okay. I think we're going to stop there. And as you can see, just put a little bit here on the end. Don't want to tilt that too much. I don't want it to spill off. Why did I not put so much, guys? I get worried because as much as I like talking about rosin being so clean and so fresh and so clean, I also know that it when you're eating stuff with rosin, it tastes a little bit more hashy. And you all know I do not like to eat my weed. So I'm a little nervous. I really am. I just stuck my nose piercing in there. So we're going to have a little bit of rosin honey on the nose for a couple of days. Doesn't really have a smell at all. Not that honey technically does per se. But let's give it a try. Oh, little ASMR there for you. Okay. You guys, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Doesn't taste hashy. Can't taste the rosin in there like you would if it, like in a chocolate bar or something like that. Or even in those Keef sodas. I hear now the 100 mils that Laura and I were talking about a couple weeks back. Apparently they're more hashy because they're 100 mil instead of the 10 mil. But this was actually really, really nice, really subtle. I might have this again tomorrow morning for breakfast. Who knows? I'll start my day right with some rosin-infused honey sticks. But, yeah, that was really tasty. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. Get out there. They were $20 a bag. So you should get 10 for that $20. Should get 10. If not, or if anything, when you do go and buy these other live rosin honey sticks, definitely ask them maybe to open the bag in front of you because you don't want to get jaded like I did. So, I mean, it was tasty. I definitely would recommend them, guys. Put it in your tea. Actually, you know what? To be honest with you, I do wonder about putting it in that tea. Maybe that'll be for another show that we talk about. And why do I say that? Why do we talk about that being a problem? Is because we don't want to cook the weed right any more than it already is. If it's already decarbonized, then if we heat it up more, will it not lose that THC percentage in there? Will it not lose that content of cannabinoids? I'm not sure. So we'll have to give that a try. We'll definitely talk about that. I'll try and do a little bit more research on that, and we'll show that, like I said, for next time. And one of the reasons why I say that is there used to be a company that I believe they sold out of Mighty Tree at one point. that was a coffee company, and they had coffee grounds, and it said 100 milligrams in the batch, right? 100 milligrams in the whole bag of coffee, which meant that maybe per fill up of your coffee machine, maybe 4 scoops was 10 mil, and that's fine. But when you heated that coffee up and you strained it and drained it into your into the coffee carafe and then into your cup, it lost that THC content. So something that might have been 10 milligrams or a high content of THC rather, ended up being a low content of THC, and it just burned off that THC content. So very curious if the hot tea would interact in such a way with that. So we'll find out. We'll do a little bit of research on that as well. Yeah, and get into that. What else are we going to talk about? What else do we want to talk about? Okay, so let's put those scary scissors over there. We're gonna close them up. Yo, it comes with a little latch here, right? The latch scares me. Did you not see how it just came back down? I'm gonna clip a finger off. I know it. Anyway, so a couple of different things going on, right? Let's see, in the cannabis world. Oh my gosh. Okay, on the 8th of June it's Best Buds Day. It's Best Friends Day, but it's Best Buds Day. So you know what that means. Get your best buds, smoke your buds. Enjoy your best bud. Smoke along with him. Where are his little eyes? There they are. There are his little eyes. Nuggulous. Anyway, get your best buds, smoke your buds. It's Best Bud Day on June 6th. On June 18th, it is Jack Herer's birthday. Okay, Jack Herer, right? The boomer strain known round the world. Yes, why do we say it's the boomer strain known round the world? Well, it actually, let's talk about Jack himself, right? Jack Herer was an American cannabis rights activist, as a matter of fact. He's also the renowned author of The Emperor Wears No Clothes. He was probably considered, and I believe called, the Emperor of Hemp. Let's say that his efforts actually led to cannabis legalization for the med and the recreational use. In 1985 is when Jack actually ended up publishing the book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes. And it was about the criminalization of hemp. And how, there are so many different issues that he actually helped to pave the way. He actually passed away 6 years prior to the Adult Use of Marijuana Act, which was a law that was passed in 2016. So what happened was there was a Dutch, Sensi Seeds is a Dutch seed company that ended up making a strain practically in his honor. So it's actually Sensi Seeds out of the Netherlands. The strain came out in like the mid 90s as a hybrid, but it was sativa dominant, of course. And it's a popular strain amongst artists, writers, basically because it's due to the strain's ability to provide clear-headed, creative thoughts. And I mean, they're not kidding. It's kind of funny that that they say it's the artist or the writer's strain. Because when I worked in dispensaries and you had the boomers or the older, the oldies coming up to you saying, "Do you have Jack Herer?" No, we don't have Jack Herer. And come to find, like, most of those people were artists. Most of those people were writers. When we had Jack Herer, we probably had it in a vape or in a concentrate, but it's rare to come by the original Jack Herer strain for sure. Just like it's rare to come across a lot of original strains. As a matter of fact, the cross strains for Jack Herer were Haze, Northern Lights, and Shiva Skunk, and to make the Jack Herer strain. So that's his birthday's coming up on the 18th. If you can find some Jack Herer, get you some Jack Herer and smoke that with your friends, celebrate his birthday, and enjoy. What else do we want to talk about? You know what, kids? I got nothing. I think we have been at it for a little while. And I think you've heard me chat enough. I think it's just because I haven't seen you all in like 2 weeks. So, of course, I had a lot to say. Before we go, let's make sure that we talk again about our friend in the industry, Steve Coker. We know that he is in the hospital. We know that some of you have been so kind to donate money in his GoFundMe. Thank you, Laura Anderson, for bringing that to our attention. We know of people in our industry. We see them all the time. We pass them, we say hi, we give them hugs when we see them at events. But when you don't have events and you don't have a whole lot of pop-ups and you don't see that industry fam, you don't know what's going on in their lives. Things could be great, things could be bad, things could be really bad. You know, people are facing all kinds of health issues. People are facing addiction. People are facing health issues like Steve, where he faced a pneumonia issue. And it's about taking care of yourself and self-love and making sure that you are okay. It's tough to sit here and say that to you guys as well, because I know that I work my ass off. I do. I work to a point that I don't sleep. And if I do sleep, I don't sleep well. But I have to stop myself sometimes and say, Tracy, sleep. Tracy, stop moving. Because if I don't take care of myself, then the people that depend on me can't depend on me. And even I have to tell them sometimes, hey, I can't do that today. And, you kind of hope that they understand when you say you can't do that today, that they get it, that they say, well, Tracy's never really said that to me. So she must really need that time. And that's tough to say too, because we all like money. And if we're not just liking money, we all need money because we're paying bills and we are working to live right now. We're not working to enjoy ourselves. So every bit of money that you get goes into a bill. So it's hard to save. It's hard to take care of yourself. It's hard to get to those regular doctor's appointments to check up on you and make sure you are okay. And if that's a problem, if that's an issue, guys, get some home remedies. Okay. If it's a matter of like me where I don't sleep, tell your body to sleep. When I wake up at 2:00 in the morning to go and start work, sometimes I shut that alarm off and say, it's time. It's time. So thank you for the reminder as well. I know I said I was going to talk about it in the brewery segment of the show. Part of my journey to a better mental health is actually that I have gotten a new apartment. And so the Sesh Connection itself will be moving. We are here still in Colorado, but we are moving to Manitou Springs, you guys. Much calmer, much quieter, much more needed from me. We'll still be doing the show. I will also be doing some mobile episodes, of course, because we're going to do some interviews with some people. We're going to catch up again with some of our pyramid guys. We're going to catch up with Chad again. I know some of those episodes we had before did not work out quite well, so we're going to make sure that we meet up with them. I know that I talked with Mike from Seed and Smith, and we want to get him on the show. We want to get Laura back on here to talk about Iovia products. And I really can't wait to move. I will maybe get a good night's sleep. Who knows? I think that the thing I fell in love with the most at the new place I'll be moving into is I have to cross a creek. Like I have to cross a bridge, a little, walkover bridge over a little creek to get to my apartment. And I love that because you can just hear that beautiful rushing water and it just feels really relaxing. When I first moved out here, that I had an apartment almost exactly like the one I'm moving into. up in the mountains. I was adjacent from Carter Lake in Loveland, Berthoud area, and man, I loved just sitting out on the front porch, getting schmammered and attempting to shoot toothpicks at the elk and mountain lions that were out there. Needless to say, it only got maybe a foot from my straw blow. But yeah, I miss those days. Maybe I'll have them again. Who knows? But that was very relaxing to me, and I can't wait to relax again to something like that. So yeah, so moving on, moving in, moving, to bigger, better things. Also got some big news with Disposable that we'll get going with you guys soon. Stay tuned for that. Some big new advancements coming that way. Maybe ways that you all can get involved as well. We'll talk about that maybe on the next show and see how we do. So let's get back to Steve real quick. And let me give you that GoFundMe for him. That's going to be gofund.me// B as in boy, F as in family, D as in dog, B as in baby, E as in Edward, 89, A as in asterisk. And that will be for his GoFundMe page. Whatever you guys can do would be wonderful. Even if it's $5, I'm sure he would appreciate it. Every little bit helps in paying those bills, as we said. Lastly, for me, you guys know that I keep posting about it on the show, on the gram, even on Facebook. I am doing the Denver Over the Edge Rappel for Cancer Research. So I am looking to get at least a donation of a total of $1,500 by September. If I reach my goal, I will be rappelling down the side of the McGregor building right there in Denver, all in the name of cancer research. So in order to get to that, you want to go to denverovertheedge.com/Tracy Valentine. That's TRACEY, Valentine like the massacre, or holiday if you're having a good day. And you're going to find out where to donate. You can put it anonymously. You can put your name to it. I don't really mind. All in all, this is for cancer. This is not for me. This is for cancer research. If you do end up wanting to donate and you want maybe your name, a sticker, a patch, whatever the case is, on my outfit that I'm wearing that day to rappel down, so that people see that you have donated and that you are sponsoring me, we'll do so. Absolutely. Would love to represent you. So let me know. Definitely hit me up on that. You guys, it's been a hell of a 2 weeks, and I've had so much fun hanging out and talking with you guys again. But I think it's time to call it a night. So I'm your host, Tracy Valentine, of course, and this is the Sesh Connection. You guys don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on the gram, of course, at _sesh_connection. And you can catch me here every Monday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. I really enjoyed it. I really missed y'all. Have a great night. Have a good week. Bye-bye.